Hey guys, it's Jay. So I'm back with another story time video. I'm hoping this one isn't too long because I gotta leave for work. But I just thought about, after I did the one about me having to go pick up people from jail and whatnot, I have an even more interesting story. So this story is actually the reason why I have a fear of high touches and meet and greets. And don't laugh at me when I tell you the story. But anyways, so this was 2007. I was in college. And at this point I was like a huge Chris Brown stan. Like I was like ride or die for that dude. And this is when he came out with his exclusive album. That was like his second album. And of course, being a fan, I was really excited. And so what ends up happening? Okay, so I find out that he's doing an album signing. Now they don't really do that much anymore. They used to do that like a few years ago. Like an artist used to come out here and they'll go to a certain place, so like Best Buy. Like in New York, there's either Best Buy or Virgin Mega Stores, which isn't in Times Square anymore. But there used to be this big, huge music store that had like everything: music, books, DVDs. They had like, it was like 3 fucking stories worth of stuff. And it's not, like I said, it's not in Times Square anymore. They got rid of it, unfortunately. But most artists used to go there for an album signing. So basically the first 500 people who buy the album can go get the album signed. So okay, so I asked one of my friends and we was like, okay, we're gonna go. I ended up not going to school that day. I was excited. So it was the day of the signing. It was about 6 in the morning. It was pouring down raining. We get to New York. That's like the first time I've ever been to New York where it's like nobody roaming the streets. So we get there and we thinking, oh, it's not gonna be a whole bunch of people because it's New York. So I think, I'm not mistaken, I think New York does have truant officers. Now back in my city, we do, but they don't really do shit really. But I know for a fact New York has truant officers. If you don't know what a truant officer is, pretty much the guys that run around the city picking up kids that skip in school and whatnot. That's basically it. And so we thinking like they ain't gonna let all them kids roam around the city. So we get around the corner, baby. Half the fucking city was on 47th Street? I think it's like 46th Street. It was so many fucking people. It was ridiculous. So we was on one side of the street. We moved to one other side of the street. We was standing there in the rain for hours. I say from like 6 to 9. I'm fucking wet. I'm soaked. My hair is all fucked up. I'm just like, I'm over it at this point. And so we get inside. So we're walking in and the people across the street are like booing us, saying like real nasty shit to us because they can't get in, but we did. So you go inside and you go buy the album. And when you buy the album, you get a wristband. Now mind you, this bitch was $21. Now this is way before getting into K-pop. I'm like, bitch, $21? What are you talking about? I never spent that much on an album. Like, I was the Target queen. Every time an album came out, I would go to Target and buy that bitch for like $10. Simple as that. So buying an album then for $21 was blasphemous for me. I was like, oh hell no. But I'm already here. I want to get the sign. Alright, that's fine. So I buy the album. And so the signing wasn't until 5, 6 o'clock. Like maybe like 5 o'clock, I think. So you could have either stood in line again, or you could have just tried to kill time. Now, if you've never been to New York, you know New York is fucking expensive. Like, this is in Jersey. Like, New York is expensive. Like, going to the movies is like damn near $20. So I was 18 at the time, so we couldn't go to Dave & Buster's because you had to be 21 because they serve alcohol. The movie was too expensive. Like, we couldn't really do shit. And so I think that day, usually the artists are like running around the city, doing like radio interviews, TV appearances, 106 in Park when it was on, TRL when it was on, like shit like that. So we went to TRL. No, I'm sorry, we went to my grandmother's job. She actually works down the street from the PlayStation Theater. Well, back in the day it was called the Nokia Theater. So we go there, hang out with her. She was like, I'm going to Harlem. I can come with me. This is my first time going to Harlem. We get off the subway. I step foot onto this fucking sidewalk. All of a sudden, this lady just beelines it from me and was like, "Can I braid your hair?" I said no and kept it moving. I said, I curved her ass. I was like, no ma'am. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I'm not from here, so I ain't trying to be rude because I ain't trying to get my fucking face sliced. So no ma'am. So my grandma like, come on. I was like, all right. So we went to some office, 125th Street and Martin Luther King Boulevard. Like, the projects was here, the Apollo was like down the street. That's like, we was on 125th Street if I'm not mistaken. So we was there for a minute, and then we come back into Manhattan, and so we went to TRL, stood outside, and then we was like, well fuck, your mom would just go back and line up, right? So we lined up, and okay, so I was like, I shouldn't say this. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that because I'm trying to get myself in trouble. But anyways, so we get inside, and I'm nervous because I've never done anything like this before. This dude that I've been like spazzing over for years, I'm meeting for the first time, and this little girl in front of me, every time someone screamed, she screamed, so she's making me even more nervous. So it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer, and what happens is it's this one at a time. So they had it. Mind you, I forgot when Chris came, he had his dog Diamond. I don't know if the dog is still alive, but he had his dog Diamond, which was like humongous, great, beautiful pit bull. But the dog was fucking huge. Like, I can ride that bitch back to Jersey. That's how big it was. So he's sitting there, and this big ass table, and so you go up to his manager Tina, his old manager, give her the CD, you go up to him, and he signs it for you. So I gave her my CD, I walk up, I'm like a foot away from this dude, and I just stood there, quiet. I don't think I blinked. Like, I just stood there like a fucking crazy person, just stared at him while he signed my CD, and then he gives it to me and says thank you, and then I was like, thank you, and I walked off. I wanted to die. Like, that was the scariest shit. That was so fucking scary. I was so mortified because I was just like, I had this in mind, this whole plan, like how, you know, oh my god, I love you, blah blah blah. Nope, not at all. Dead, quiet, nothing. So I'm walking up the escalator to go back outside. I turn around, my friend was behind me. She's having a full-blown conversation with him. I was over it. So we leave, we go to nearby McDonald's, waiting for the train, and she's on the phone, and she's like, yeah girl, I was talking to Chris, and this, that, and the third. I'm just sitting here like, being a bitter bitch, because I was just like, word. And then what even made me mad is the fact that, yeah, like Jay, she fucking froze in front of Chris, and she was telling like everybody, and I was like mad at her because I'm like, why would you say that? I was over it. So that's the reason why I never want to do any high touches, any meet and greets, none of that, because I just know that I'm going to just freeze. Like, I would freeze. And mind you, half these idols, I'm older than them. For a fact. I'm older than the whole damn group majority of these people. And I just know if I just went, I just do it, it will happen again. Like, it's just so scary. And I'm like, nah, I'm off that. I can't do that. So that's the reason why I don't do high touches and stuff, because I just know that I'm going to just like freeze. But yeah, so that's my story on how I froze in front of Chris Brown. Lovely, right? Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.